Um, actually, I didn't. I probably should tweet out the live stream. I did tweet out uh the join link. I didn't do the other one. I should have. I'm always with it, guys. You guys know that. Always with it. Anyway, so today, everybody, welcome to the Linux user group for the second half of August. Good Lord, this year is just flying right on by. And tonight we're going to have a fantastic Linux user group. If you guys want to join, the link is in the video description, or I tweeted it out, or it's on Discord. So if you want to join, feel free to join. We'll have a good time. Anyway, so our topic for tonight is rare Linux apps. Now, as we talked about before we started streaming, my definition of rare is not as stringent as it probably should be. So if you have a moderately like if you choose Firefox, that's probably not rare enough. But if you want to choose something else that's a little bit more rare, that's fine. Okay, but anyways, so who wants to go first? Who wants to share their first rare app? Raise your hand. Okay, I will go first then. So I'm going to share one called Kew, and it is a music player, and it is awesome. So basically, it's like CMUS or NC, MPC, PP, or whatever you want to call it, but better designed, has a better configuration file. It does a really good job of importing your music, so you don't have to worry about a server running in the background. So it's not an MPD front end. It's just a music player. It's really good. So that's my first one. Who wants to go next? Or I'm going to just read off my list. Nobody. Arch Penguin, didn't you say you have one? Okay, he's not there.
I do.
All right, go ahead. Save us, please.
Well, this is a pretty rare one. I really kind of don't really. I knew how to set it up, but I wasn't really an expert on the person using it. A good friend of mine was what they call an Elmer. An Elmer is someone that uses ham radio, and well, he wasn't really a techie guy too much, so I helped him install Ubuntu on his laptop, and then we helped him install a thing called FLDigi. And FLDigi is an interface that allows you to actually use you can check your email and do all kinds of crazy things with it. It's very, very intriguing.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know much about, he did all the ham stuff, but I helped him set that up. And once we got it going, it was amazing.
Yeah, and I see people do ham radio, and it always looks cool because there's all these cool gadgets. But it seems like a fairly pricey hobby to pick up.
Yeah, definitely a deep rabbit hole.
GNU to Linux, you got one for us? Oh, you got to unmute yourself.
Of course. This isn't my suggestion, but I'm using Jitsi Meet app for the first time. So how's that sound?
You sound great.
Awesome. All right. So anyway, I was going to say I use an app called KDocker. I don't know if other people use it. I don't use a lot of K apps, but it does have the very nice feature of being able to take a program that's open like Thunderbird and dock it down on the bottom right, of your, I think it's called the status bar on your computer. So that way it's there, but when you use the task switcher to switch between open apps, it's not there. So it's very neat to be able to just sort of minimize it, but keep it ready to come back anytime you want.
So it allows it to run in the background, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I wonder if it works outside of KDE.
Yeah, I'm on Linux Mint, so yes.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try that in Hyperlink, because there are a few that I'd love to have running in the background. That'd be pretty sweet. It probably comes with the entire K suite, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, not bad. It's not a gigantic upload. It's a system package for me, so it wasn't bad.
Okay, I'll definitely have to try that. Drew, go ahead.
As window manager users and X11 window managers, we use Rofi quite a bit. to launch applications, but the extensibility of Rofi and writing scripts and having it do certain things is, I mean, I don't know if it's rare, but it's probably unused to the point where it's kind of embarrassing. It's such a flexible program to use. I know, Matt, you probably use it to like change themes on your, and things like that. But you can do so much with the application.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't honestly using a window manager without it would be pretty hard because I don't care for dmenu as much, and it's harder to because you have to do all the patching, and if you want to like in the center, you got to do a center patch. If you want it to have transparency, you got to do all those things. So, yeah, Rofi is 2 thumbs up. It's very, very good. We should do an entire podcast when when we just have nothing else to talk about, just about our Rofi scripts. That could be fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
I don't
know
if
about 4 people would watch it, but that would be
watch
awesome.
it, but it'd be fun for us. That'd be great. D-Dubs, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to dovetail onto that because I use Rofi for showing key bindings that you can search in the web. I mean, all kinds of things. Coolit takes it to another level. He not only he has scripts that'll theme Kitty that actually previews it. He uses Rofi. He's got all his config files in a Rofi menu, so you could just select it and say, "Oh, I want to change the decorations," or "Oh, I want to change this." So yes, you could do a whole podcast on Rofi. I would be there. I would absolutely be there because there is so much you could do with it, and you don't have to be an extreme programmer to use it. The only thing I think that Rofi is missing that I wish it had is like auto sizing, so that when you change the text gets really long and that it would just auto size. But other than that, so yeah, I vote for Rofi.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Objects, countries, go ahead.
Hi, so I wanted to recommend this app called Calculate, starting with a Q, not a C. Basically, it's like an advanced calculator. It's got units, it's got variables. I actually used it for my university physics class, and honestly, that's all I have to say about it. Just a little calculator app. It has GTK and QT version as well.
Is it like a scientific calculator? You might have said
scientific. Also, like I said, units and variables, all that. So. It's on
smartest guy here. Just saying. By the
way. Yeah. Science. What's science? That's great.
That's all I had to say.
Yeah, that's fine. I remember back in the day, which is like at this point 30 years ago, calculators were just becoming a thing, and we had this big blocky thing that we took to school, and it did addition and subtraction fine, but then you got to high school and they basically handed you a computer because the graphing calculators were just coming in at that point. Oh man, everybody wanted one of those, but they were like at $300 when they first came out. Man. All right, so my next one is, and I may steal this from Drew actually, is FZF. Like this thing happens, like I use this thing all the time in scripts. And lately I've been using it in a version of it in Emacs. It just makes sorting through large directories really, really easy when you're trying to find some things. And there's a ton of built-in ways you can use it. So it doesn't like just look for titles. You can make it look through contents of files if you want. So it like kind of built-in grep in some ways. So if you're searching for something that's within a file, you can then use FCF to find it. So it's just astonishingly good, and you pair that with a lot of your bash scripts, and there's just the sky's the limit as to what you can do. So that's my next one. Anybody else have another one they would like to share? Arch Penguin, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure how rare it really is, but it's a very useful tool. It's cross-platform. A lot of people might already know this one, but man, it comes in clutch when you're trying to get some files from different devices to other devices. It's called Local Send.
Mm-hmm.
Really a great application. It just works so good, seamless.
I've tried it a few times. I've never had a good having had good luck with it on my network for some reason. I'm pretty sure I'm having a firewall problem, but the idea behind it is really good.
Yeah, maybe check your ports because you could set the ports on both on. You want to make sure they match up whatever you set the ports on. That might help you.
Yeah, I'll give it another try because I'm always trying to figure out a way. And lately, I've just been using Proton Drive. It like automatically syncs and then goes up there, but it doesn't help for things that aren't pictures really. Drew, go ahead.
Uh, Another thing with FCF rip grep, just going to throw that out there, but excuse me. I don't know if most people here are either window manager users or just a full desktop environment users. But if you are on the window manager side, you already know about Flame Shot. But it is so freaking good in terms of like, if you do a lot of screenshots and you want tools and annotation and things like that, it's the best thing that I've seen, at least as far as an application to do screenshots. I know that there are other tools like GNOME has their own screenshot and so on, but if you're, if that doesn't work for you, Flame Shot's phenomenal.
They also just came out with their first update in quite a while to make it work on Wayland, so that's good stuff there. Objects countries, go ahead.
So I have another app that just came to mind. It's called OpenRGB. It's for like RGB, like gamer peripherals. Got myself a keyboard and mouse, both flash and rainbow colors, and I have to use the experimental version because the stable version doesn't support my keyboard. But the experimental version is available on the AUR under OpenRGB-Git. Essentially, OpenRGB. Also, I almost forgot to mention it controls the light bulb, the desk lamp on my desk, which is pretty nice. It's a smart lamp, smart light bulb, I mean. And I can use OpenRGB. I wrote a little Python script to control the light, like to make it cycle through the rainbow. So it's more than just gamer peripherals. It also controls like smart lamps and stuff. That's OpenRGB. All right.
Yeah, it's a good application. I haven't actually set it up, but I have like the lights that are actually in this room, I think would work well with it. But I haven't set it up yet. I do need to look into it because I think it would work well with like Home Assistant and stuff too. So you could set it up through that as well. Okay, so I'll name another one. So, I will say Input Remapper. I think that actually qualifies as rare this time. If you have like a like for example the Alcom Huge that I have has extra buttons on it, obviously the software for this isn't on Linux, and you want to be able to actually use those buttons. Using something like Input Remapper will allow you to do that, so you can set it to whatever you want. If you wanted to set it to a key binding, you could do that. If you wanted to set it to, whatever. And it's really easy to use. My biggest problem with it is you do have to have it running in the background, and the last time I set it up, which wasn't on Nix because I couldn't get it to run on Nix. There wasn't a service, right? They didn't set up a systemd service, so it's possible they've changed that since then. But for now, the last time I used it, anyways, you had to have it actually running in the background as an actual application. So Input Remapper is mine. Drew.
I know this isn't very popular for people that actually, I'm sorry, let me say it the other way. I know this is very popular for people that actually need its functionality. I'm not sure that it's very popular for people that are just casual users, but rclone, we've talked about, Matt and I have talked about rclone quite a bit. If you're wanting to sync like a local drive to say a Google Drive or some other cloud service, it's such a good like tool. I know that again, that it's got like, 45, 50,000 stars on GitHub, but those are for people that actually like know what it's for and need that functionality. But for a casual user that just wants to sync like their a directory to their Google Drive, check it out.
Oh, and that thing you set up with it is just really, really good. I think that there's like a GUI front end or something like G rclone or something. It's probably not what it's called.
Yeah, I got no idea.
Drew says GUIs.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of such a thing.
But I think there's a front end for it. So if you want, if for those of you who prefer GUIs, it's basically the same thing. It's just um, a GUI. Anyways, GNU to Linux. Go ahead.
I would like to nominate Make MKV. It is a great app that I see someone celebrating. Just a guy must know this app. It is an awesome app that allows you to rip your DVD or even Blu-ray discs very, I won't say quickly, but pretty quickly and very easily to your hard drive. And unless they're a very rare disc that has like the special copy protection on it, which is rare in my experience. And it gives you a .mkv file for every single program on the disc. So the main movie, and it'll embed all the alternate language tracks and everything, subtitles, and plus if there's bonus features on the disc like behind the scenes, or featurettes and things like that, you'll simply get an MKV for every one of those. It is perpetually in beta, and there's a PPA for us Ubuntu-based people to easily install it. So I've been using it for years for free, and it's incredible.
Yeah, Drew would preach on that.
You know what's funny is you said MKV in my head. I'm hearing MKV Toolnix, and that's the actual one that I'm celebrating because it has something called MKV Merge in it. But I know exactly what you're talking about, GNU, and it is very good. I was just in my head. I actually got the wrong thing. So
yeah, you don't have to do anything. The great thing about Make MKV is you get a usable MKV file. You can play in VLC or MPV on your hard drive. You can, play it through Plex. You don't have to take the videos and put them in Handbrake and transcode them. None of that. It gives you perfectly usable files right from the get-go.
Sorry, I came across a Micah Parsons headline again. I got distracted. Object countries. Go ahead.
All right, I've got a third app to recommend, and it's not really an app per se. It's more like a command line, not even a tool. It's for customizing your prompts. It's called Starship. Have you made a video on this, Matt? I don't know. You might have. I feel like this is something you might have covered.
Maybe. I don't know. I made so many videos. I don't remember.
Starship. It allows you to create like a TOML file, which then allows you to customize your prompt and set it for Bash, DSH, Fish, even like Windows command lines. So I've got mine set up for like different segments, like and different colors, showing different parts. Like on my laptop, I have it show the battery, and like on my laptop MPC, I show sudo active and what directory I'm in and like Git stuff. So it's really useful, actually.
I've tried. If I haven't made a video about it, I've definitely tried it before. Right now, I use Oh My Posh for mine because it works a little bit better with the way that I want to do my stuff. But overall, yeah, very, very, very good. Des, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, what I was doing in the background, and that's why I took a while to get to this, is I was opening up a file called test.pkg, which is basically my custom file for software I'm testing, and I was adding some of the things I didn't know about to that file, but I had to go and look up where the right file to add those to. And so I guess first of all, the software I'm developing is pretty rare because so far I haven't fully released it. But then also I was searching through my software repositories and trying to find this one. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name of it, so I really can't say for certain which one it is. But I used to use it quite a bit, at least play with it, back on the days when Linux came on CDs. And I wish I could look it up and find it. Maybe I'll have to get out my old CDs, if nothing else, to see if I can find the name of it, because I've been searching and searching and searching. It must exist in a newer form, but I have no idea what it's called anymore.
Yeah, I hate
It
when that
was
happens.
dealing with book collections, is what it was dealing with.
You're not talking about
Not
Colibri,
like
are you?
it's possible, but I'm not certain. But it wasn't dealing with ebooks exactly,
Mm.
more like collecting your books and cataloging them that you have on your bookshelf, but not quite a library tool.
Could it be Alexandria? Could it be an Alexandria?
Not sure what you're saying, Jamil. Maybe somebody in the chat will know. Hip Dad, go ahead.
For the gamers out there, if you play a lot of games on Steam and you use the Proton layer, we all know that there's Proton GE and there's a standard Proton for Steam. I found a program. Most common program is Proton Up QT, and that program sucks in my opinion. I'm sorry. I found a program that's a flat pack, Proton Plus, and it actually, with if you're running the Steam flat pack, it works with the flat pack, and it has Proton G, Proton Catchy OS, EM, TKG, Seric, Luxorpedia, Roberta, and it actually shows what's installed and what's not installed. Now, you also, anytime you do this, you have to restart Steam so you can find it in the list if you're wanting to try the current version of the Proton that you're wanting to use. But it's a nice slim program, easy to use, a lot better than Proton Up QT.
Cool. So my next one is an app called Box Buddy. If you use DistroBox a lot, it is amazing. Like even if you prefer to do things in the terminal, Box Buddy is good to have around, simply because it allows you to kind of see what distro boxes you have like installed and set up without having to go search for them. You just open this up and they're just there. It tells you whether or not they're running, the status of them. You can update from there if you want to. You can export apps from the distro box to your local system so you can launch them from there. There's just a ton of stuff that you can do. You can obviously also set up your distro boxes from there. And what's cool is usually, like, if you were to set up a distro box from the terminal, you'd have to go somewhere and find the image URL. With Box Buddy, it just has a list of all of them that are available. You select the one that you want and it installs it. It's almost magic. So if you use DistroBox a lot, which I don't actually use it as much as I used to, but it's still fantastic, Box Buddy is definitely where you should go. Anyone have another one that they'd like to share? Sure. Objects, countries, go ahead.
I just want to ask, can I recommend a bootloader instead of an app?
Sure.
Yeah, so to give a bit of backstory, this seems unrelated, but I'm promising getting somewhere with this. There's this new game coming out by Riot Games called 2XKO. Of course, it's made by Riot Games, so obviously it's going to use Vanguard as its anti-cheat, and Vanguard needs Secure Boot. I managed to get Secure Boot set up on EndeavorOS with a dual boot for Windows, and but the thing is, Grub just had this like 640 by 480 like stretched display, and it just looked terrible. And when I tried to apply like a Grub theme to it, it still looked awful. So I decided to try a different bootloader, and I just tried out Refined, and it really fit well. I applied a little theme for it that was on the AUR, and I also figured out just how to use my mouse. It was really easy, just like uncomment one line to get mouse access. So yeah, my recommendation is Refined.
Refined is really good. Arch Penguin, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's another one. I may have actually mentioned this one before, but I think it's worth mentioning again. It allows you to control your fan curve and overclock your GPU. It's called LACT. I mean, that's a pretty important thing to do. If you game at all or do any rendering or video editing, it's probably a really good idea to be able to control your fan speed on your GPU. So I have actually donated to his project as it's that good. It works on NVIDIA. It works on AMD. They actually added support for even older NVIDIA cards now, which didn't work till recently. But man, it's such a good utility, and I can't recommend it enough.
That is cool. I've never actually looked at the fan curve for my GPU. Usually, the ones that I see are just for the fans in the case, and then you have to go into the like. There's never been a good BIOS ever. Like they're all horrible. Having to go in there and mess around with those has always been a pain in the rear end. GNU to Links, go ahead.
I just like to say I love seeing people's cats. So hip dad, very nice. And also for my app, yes, beautiful. I use an app for notes called Notes Nook, Nook, and it's actually a like a freemium app, but I use the free version. It does everything that I want to do, and what I really like about it is the sync is very good. So I have it installed as an app image on Linux Mint. I also have the app which you can download from the Google Play Store or F-Droid, I believe, as well on my Android phone. So when when you make lists of things, if you have notes, it very quickly, when you're logged into your account, and it easily syncs between the both, either direction.
I know if Nate was here, he'd be very happy about that because Notes Nook is his app of choice for note taking. I've used it in the past, but I prefer Obsidian for various reasons. Des, go ahead.
It is Bible quotes and then sticky notes, which are actually two cinnamon applets that people probably don't know a whole bunch about, or at least some people don't know a whole bunch about them. Bible quotes is a little one that can sit in your panel and basically show you quotes from the Old Testament or the New Testament, whichever you choose, when you click on it. And then sticky notes is one you can also add to your panel, which is virtual sticky notes. Probably those particular ones are not that popular, but like they're part of my daily current workflow.
You may be the first person I've ever met that uses the Sticky Notes app on their computer. I don't think I've ever met anyone who actually does that. Although I know that people have to use it, otherwise they wouldn't stop developing them. But yeah. So my next one is I will go with Snapper. So I don't use this obviously anymore because I don't use Butterfest right now. But when I was on OpenSUSE, it was probably my favorite like tool for a lot of reasons. Just the ability to, granted, obviously this is in conjunction with Butterfest, being able to work with your Butterfest snapshots, roll yourself back from within the operating system, and then just reboot into the snapshot that was working. It's like magic. It's so good, and especially now that I've used NixOS, that does things completely differently and not quite as user friendly. I miss Snapper like crazy. Like it's such a cool tool. I know a lot of people will tell you to use Time Shift if you want a GUI. I prefer Snapper, but yeah. Dad, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to recommend again, since we're getting repeats, PackUI. Love it. If you're using Arch, PackUI is a wonderful command line user interface. You can deep dive into it and get yourself in trouble. So you need to be real careful when you use it. Please read what pops up on the screen. Don't assume that the default is actually what you want. So yeah, I use it. I'm an obsessive compulsive updater, so it's pretty convenient for me to let me know when the AUR is getting attacked again.
Yeah. Um, wonder if have they actually fixed that now, or is it still going on?
There's a status website that you can check, but as of yesterday, it was still getting hit every now and then.
That's crazy.
They were starting to attack the actual. They was attacking the website, and they're starting to. I think they were actually starting to try to attack central repositories, but it doesn't seem like it's getting the errors I used to be getting.
That is bonkers. All right, so I'll go again. I'm gonna recommend. This is not a rare app like at all, but FFmpeg is like amazing for so many different things. You can edit videos, edit audio in there if you want. If you wanted to get like truly like nerdy, I know someone who used to make their video thumbnails on YouTube with FFmpeg. But what I use it for mostly is like, so I edit in DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve, for whatever reason, no matter what platform you're on, will not accept a WebP file format. It just won't. So I have to convert from a WebP or WebM if it's a video to something more standard to get it into DaVinci Resolve. And I use FFmpeg for that. It's just FFmpeg, in a couple flags, and just works really, really well. I've also used it to do for videos and stuff before, but right now the image thing is just it saves my bacon over and over again. So FFmpeg is my next one. Anybody got another one? Okay, this is going to turn into the Matt show if we don't start. Oh, GNU Linux, save us, please.
Speaking of FFmpeg, as we all know, there are many programs that rely on it as their back end. I would like to recommend an app that I use called Video Duplicate Finder. It's actually a cross-platform app. It works on Linux, Windows, even Mac. You actually download an executable, but of course you have to have FFmpeg, and you might even need a specific version. Read the GitHub, make sure you have the right, versions before you start. But it's, in my experience, the best app to not just deduplicate video, but also photos as well. It gives you a lot of nice preview, and there are other apps that do the same thing, but I think Video Duplicate Finder is one of the very best.
That's cool. I've used something called fdupes before. I think that's what it was called. I think it's more of a file duplication thing, but I don't really remember much about it other than it worked.
Yeah, file duplication is a bit different because it's checking to make sure that the exact file size, it finds same files going by file size or the date it was changed and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sorting out like a collection of video or photos, you depending on how picky you want to be, you want to actually eyeball it, and what Video Duplicate Finder excels at is it gives you a nice preview of, if you have 3 or 4 videos that you downloaded, they almost look the same, but one of them has like a different frame rate, or one of them's a bigger file size, and the other one, the video bit rate's different. It kind of gives you all that information, so you could go through it and delete the ones that are lesser, smaller, lower quality.
Sounds awesome. I would need to use that with my wallpaper directory because I have so many duplicates there. Des, go ahead.
For people who use cross-platform things sometimes, this is more of a website, but it's something that a lot of people don't realize exists. It should be like hpsmart.com or something like that. That it's like the way to access HP Smart on Linux is by accessing the website. Unless you're gonna pull up an Android phone or something if you use Linux, or go back to a Windows machine to use it where you can get the app, then that website is the way to do it on Linux. I made it into a web app actually, with my web app program so that I could deal with printer functions. And it's somewhat something people don't know about.
Cool. Dad, go ahead.
I forgot where the microphone thing was. I oh wait a minute, we haven't done this for a while. Okay. Oh, we haven't. Oh, can't do it. I was going to give you a raccoon update, but hey. So there's a program called Local Send. So if you have, you can get it in a flat pack, and if you want to transfer files from your phone, the wonderful world of Google or whatever Android decides to do willy nilly, if you go and attach your phone via USB dongle and you want to transfer files off of it, ain't that simple anymore. Used to be you just attach it, go, copy everything. Can't do that anymore. So Local Send uses the Wi-Fi, and you can transfer files from your phone to your computer, from one computer to another computer. You just have to have Local Send, and sometimes you will have to disable your UFW, your universal firewall. Sometimes you'll have to disable that on your computer, but it's wonderful. I mean, it doesn't matter what size the files are, none of that. You just boom, it's done.
So 2 votes for Local Send this episode. That's good. Tip Dad, you wanted to go again? Or you were just waiting?
I hit the wrong button. I did an old person mistake.
Okay, man. I thought he did it like he did it again. Kenner to Linux, go ahead.
Yeah, I just discovered the keyboard shortcuts on Jitsi, and I'm much happier now. So, anyway, I would like to recommend Double Commander. It is a file explorer. Now, I'm normally content with Nemo on Linux Mint. I like it a lot for most uses. However, those of us who grew up using Windows remember what a nice feature when you looked at a folder full of videos, there were a lot of columns that gave you information, and you could sort by size, bitrate, and other attributes. Nemo and some of the and Dolphin and some of the other file managers lack that by default. But Double Commander, you can use a plugin and get that functionality that Windows Explorer has by default. So if you're looking at, it's, in my opinion, especially useful when you're looking at videos. Again, it helps with whether it's for duplication or you're just trying to sort. You could see easily which one has different attributes, including file size, bitrate, date downloaded, all that kind of stuff.
Obviously, as the file manager, I have tried it before. The settings panel just bugs the crap out of me. That thing is a mess.
It's awkward, yeah.
Yeah.
But the functionality makes it worth it for that particular use.
I really wish that if they had a search functionality for the settings, probably would be okay. But last time I tried it,
Midnight Commander as well. Is that the same? Is it very similar?
I don't think they're exactly the same, but I believe they're similar, or one's based on the other. I downloaded Double Commander as an app image. It's a Russian developer. You can go to their forum and read about it. I think it was either inspired by it or derived from it.
Des, go ahead.
This is a little bit less rare, but a lot of people who are not programmers don't know about it yet. G++, so like a whole lot less rare, but some people just don't know about it. But like I use it quite a bit, even before I was using Linux as much, and GCC as well. The compilers for C and C++.
Cool. Oh, good. Drew, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say something funny. Like, anybody ever heard of Docker? I mean, because that's almost the natural transition as to what we are self-hosting these days, Matt. Because I'm looking for something, you know.
Okay, so I have things for you. I have things for you, Drew. But the one that I just found, you're probably going to be interested in because it's about books. But someone created a brand new book manager reader thing. It looks amazing. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks really, really good. Also, I tried Tailscale for the first time. Have you ever tried Tailscale?
Yes.
That's amazing. Like, it's like, how has nobody told me about this magic before? Like, it's so good. No more port forwarding. It's just like the best thing ever. Anyways, yeah. if we burn out on apps, we'll go to that because we can nerd out on that just ourselves. Everybody else can just go do whatever they want to do. Hey, Dad, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a program called Lupe, and I mean formerly called Lupe. It's a GNOME project image viewer, and it's for looking at your image files. And the wonderful thing about this is you can delete, and if you accidentally delete one, you can undo real quick in the process. I mean, I have thousands and thousands of image files from all over the years, all the way back to 2004 that I've been going through since I'm retired now. And so I can sit here with the arrow keys and delete keys and just sit there and scroll through, delete, go, delete, delete. I mean, I went from 20,000 image files to 6,000. And this program is the best image viewer I found. It doesn't complicate it. It's nice, simple. You can actually tell it to go to edit and everything like that. It's just wonderful.
Cool. So I will mention Handbrake. I mentioned FFmpeg earlier, but Handbrake kind of goes along with it. When I do manage to get Resolve working on Linux, the codec situation just means I have to use MKV in order to do it, and those files are huge, humongous, so I have to convert them into something else. Handbrake's been around for a very long time. I don't think that it qualifies as rare, but it's still really, really good, so I highly recommend it. It can be slow, but it's also not as slow as it used to be. Like, it used to be astonishingly slow, but now it's actually pretty good. GNU to Linux, go ahead.
Yeah, along that same vein, video stuff, I use two apps. One's called AVI Demux, and the other one's called Lossless Cut. And what's nice about these, there's a million apps, of course, to edit videos, like not full on nonlinear editing programs, but small apps that allow you to like cut clips up and things like that. You could also do it real old school in the command line with FFmpeg. But what's nice about AVI Demux and Lossless Cut, it allows you to take a video file and cut it and not have to re-render it. So if you just want to cut the first, bunch of dead space or the end of a video or cut it into 3 parts or whatever, you can do that, and it will edit the video, cut out the piece that you don't want, yet you will have it will do it relatively instantly. It'll take a few seconds to think it through. You tell it what kind of container, and you leave it, and it will give you basically the same format that you started with without re-rendering it.
Okay. That's basically the same thing MK Toolnix does, Drew. Is that basically what that sounded like? Yeah. Okay.
The GUI part of MKV Toolnix is something I don't use. So I'm not exactly sure, because I only use one of the packages or one of the dependencies of MKV Toolnix GUI. So
Okay. Des, go ahead.
I'm probably the only one who uses this too, but Drake Wizard over on the distribution Mageia, it's a Mageia specific tool left over from the Mandrake ages, and it's useful on servers for doing things like configuring servers. I'm probably the only one who does it that way with the GUI when I can just do it with the command line. But I love to create servers that way a lot of times.
Cool. Anybody else got anything that they would like to share? Oh, Drew, go ahead. Good.
Home Assistant is something that I don't know how many people are using either the Google or the Amazon kind of, stuff for their smart house or their smart applications or something like that. If you want to try something that's open source, Home Assistant, outstanding. I actually use it on on its own dedicated like Raspberry Pi, and it's amazing.
Okay, give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna have to let my dog out of the room. Give me just 1 second.
Does anyone else want to hear the like it's like the countdown for Jeopardy or something? Dun, dun, dun. I think you can go ahead safely, GNU.
Yeah, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, this is and I just lost my place. What was I going to talk about? Fox Clone. It is an app to you have to put it on a USB stick, and it will allow you to copy your drive exactly. It's similar to what are those other programs that have clone in the name?
There's Duplicati and like the ones that just do a whole drive. Like maybe
Yes,
like
it does your whole drive. So you have to boot into Fox Clone on your
Clonezilla,
USB stick,
I think is another one.
and it allows you to copy your whole drive as is.
That's cool. So Drew, you mentioned self-hosting ones. Probably, I don't know if you put comments on your blog or your website or not. Probably not. But I tried to do mine, and I have it on there. One of the ones I tried was something called Commento. That was pretty good. And then for analytics, Umami, Umami, which is if you're interested in just kind of seeing stats of who visits your blog, that's kind of cool. It's an open source kind of Google Analytics kind of thing. And just on the self-hosted thing, if you go to GitHub, there's something called Awesome Self-Hosted. It's like a list of like thousands, but definitely hundreds of self-hosted things. So that's definitely something to take a look at. Anybody else have an app that they'd like to share? Going once, twice. Drew, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask the question. I don't know how many people we got 7 or 8 people here. How many people are actually doing any self-hosting? That would be something if that's a kind of a topic that, because I know that I only have like a handful of things that I self-host, but because I kind of stayed away from that. Like Fresh RSS, Matt, is an application that is phenomenal. But it is self-hosted, so I don't know if that kind of like fell into the category.
Oh yeah, definitely. GNU to Linux, go ahead.
Yeah, RSS is something that I've gotten into lately, and I use Fresh RSS, but I'm not self-hosting it here on one of my computers. I actually found a place online that effectively allows me to use it on their service. So I am using Fresh RSS, and it's pretty neat. I do like some other local apps for RSS, But what a nice thing about Fresh RSS, which I'm sure just a guy Linux can tell, is it allows you to sync between various devices. So if you read your RSS feeds on your phone or one computer, it will sync with your other computers, which your local apps can't do.
Just to let you know, there are a lot of local apps that will work with Fresh RSS. You can sign up with the G-Reader API, and that'll allow you to use your Fresh RSS stuff in a native application if you want to. There's a lot for Linux and Android and iOS. So yeah, I went like 3 days without my Fresh RSS, and it was a bleak 3 days. Like it was like I forgot how I didn't imagine how reliant on it I had become. But yeah, there's some really good stuff out there on RSS stuff. Drew?
So I remember somebody saying something. Oh, Notes Nook, that's what it was. But Matt's been using Obsidian, but I would be curious to know what you thought about IOTAS, because I know that you used it for a while. Is it just not robust enough as a note-taking application? Or?
It was okay, but I was in my note-taking, distro hopping, period there where I was just trying everything and kind of never went back to it. And by the time I was ready to settle down, Obsidian was kind of the way where it was. When the thing is about Obsidian is once you get into it and get the plugins where you want them, it's kind of hard to leave. So like there's some things there that just I kind of rely on. There's for habit tracking and word count, like streak taking kind of stuff, and it's just really really cool. But IOTAS was really great, like especially if you like use GNOME and you wanted to fit in with the rest of your GNOME apps. It was a good application. So yeah, definitely. What are you using on the desktop now? Are you still using Genie and then your script, or you have another app?
So yeah, most of the time I use Genie, which is an application that everyone should be using. So I'm recommending that wholeheartedly. But over the last, like I think you and I have talked about this application that I've kind of been working on in the back, for the last few months. Sometimes I pick it up, sometimes I don't, and everything. Anyway, it's kind of a terminal centric note-taking application that's using FZF, Matt, and it is that's really the main thing. It's using FZF for a note-taking application. Anyway, I'm trying to use that. I don't know how successful I am. That's why I'm not even like talking about it on the channel or anything like that. But overall, Obsidian is just like a sledgehammer when it comes right down to it. And I don't know that I need that level of like beef for my note taking.
Yeah, I don't think I actually need it either. But like I said, there's few plugins there that I really like, and I'm trying my hardest to just stick with the note because I moved around so much. I've just basically lost like half of my notes throughout the years, and so it's just time for me to settle down and with a good girl and not move from bed to bed anymore. Hip Dad, go ahead.
My for podcast RSS to get your podcast downloaded, I use Rhythmbox. Once you put the RSS feed in there, it downloads them automatically. No problem.
I have a confession to make. I've never, other than like to edit, but like as a actual like thing to do, I've never listened to a podcast on my computer. Like I have no interest in actually doing that on the computer. I use AntennaPod on Android. That's cool, and also open source. For whatever reason, podcast on the computer just doesn't really interest me on much. I'd be interested to find out if anybody else that does the whole podcast at the computer thing. GNU to Linux, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about podcasts. I'm pretty sure I typed this at some point in the Discord, but I have a strong opinion about this. For years, I never used any software for podcasts. I just bring it up in a browser tab and listen to it. So finally, last year, I decided, you know what? I got several podcasts I'm following now. Not talking about video podcasts. Those I only watch on YouTube. So that's different. But for audio only podcasts, those ones I needed an app. So I tried several, and the one I settled on was Pocket Casts. they made it free. I mean, it is a freemium, app. You can pay for it and get some additional features, which I don't particularly care about those features. But what's nice about it, why I recommend it, is unlike Matt, I do listen to podcasts in multiple places. If I'm at home, I want to listen on my computer because I got nice stereo speakers and I can listen to it here. I don't want to listen on my phone. However, if I'm in the car, obviously, I turn my Bluetooth on, I download the episode or episodes and take it with me. Or if I'm cooking in the kitchen and I don't want to blast the music, blast the podcast from one room to the other, I'll take my phone with me to the kitchen. And what's great about Pocket Cast is not only is it the entry level version free, but it has the best sync, as you would imagine from a proprietary app. You could start listening to your podcast, say 20 minutes on your stereo or in your office. Let's say you got to get up and now you got to go run an errand. You jump it in your car and off you go. It will know exactly where you left off when you pull up, when you open the app in your car. Boom, it'll be right there to the second. You don't have to go fumble with it and find it, and vice versa. So to me, that's the killer feature if you want to listen to your podcast, and then be able to know where you left off and pick up from one device to the other. And then the last thing I like about podcasts is when it works on any platform, because aside from the Android app, I'm sure there's an iOS app, it works in your web browser. So of course, it doesn't matter what operating system you're using, even an obscure one. But the nice thing about it is I'm a big keyboard person. You could play your podcasts. You hit the space bar to play or stop. You hit the arrow key, your physical button on your keyboard, to jump forward through the commercials. Not every other podcast can do that with an actual button. So that's why I like Pocket Casts.
Cool. Specs, go ahead.
Yeah, I listen to podcasts on my computer, pretty much exclusively on my computer. And I use Emacs for that. There's a certain Emacs package called Emacs Multimedia System that plugs the MPV. Then I get the podcasts I follow I follow them via RSS, so then I can use LFeed, which plugs into EMS, and I can just simply load up the podcast directly into MPV using EMS.
Somehow, I am not surprised that someone uses Emacs to listen to podcasts. Emacs literally does everything. I wonder if there's something that Emacs can't do. Now that I think about it. All right.
Well, apparently you can do some light photo editing in Emacs. So.
Can I edit video? Edit videos? I mean,
yeah, I saw on the Emacs subreddit, someone made an Emacs package. It's not like a full blown photo video editor, but it's you can do some basic cutting in video. So which is quite surprising for something that's text based pretty much.
Yeah, that is bonkers. All right. Anybody else have an app that they would like to share? GNU to Linux, go ahead.
I use CopyQ. It's in the repository on Linux Mint. It's just a clipboard manager, which is lacking in, I think, many distributions, or at least it is in Mint. And it gives you, there's a clipboard, but there's not a nice, full-featured clipboard manager. So it's to me, it's very handy. You can, save thousands or whatever number you want.
That is cool. I use Cliphist on Hyperland for clipboard management stuff. What I really wish when it comes to clipboard management, maybe the one that you're talking about does this, but when I copy a password from LastPass, or not LastPass, but Proton Pass, I love for it to be able to expire those things. After 15 minutes, it just deletes it from the history. That'd be so cool. On Mac, it does that. And that's you guys won't hear me say too many things that are positive about Mac, but being able to show someone your your clipboard history without worrying that you're going to give them away your master password or whatever to, your entire your banking password. That's a cool feature, and I wish that was something that a Linux clipboard history manager would actually have. But I've never seen one that does that.
KeyPass XE does that. It will stop. It will prevent it from being saved to your clipboard manager.
I'll have to look at that. I don't really want to switch to a different password manager, but it might be worth it. Bex, go ahead.
Actually, the Bitwarden desktop client does the same thing as KeyPass too. Clears your clipboard after like a set time. It's not as customizable as KeyPass, but you have like intervals like 5, 10, 15 seconds. So
It makes me wonder if I'm just missing out. Maybe Proton Pass has it, and I just don't know it because I don't use the desktop app. All I use is the browser extension. I don't think I've ever actually tried the Proton Pass app on desktop. I use it on mobile. Anybody else have a app that they'd like to share? Canoe to Linux, go ahead. You're carrying us tonight, bro.
Yeah, I came prepared. Simple screen recorder. Probably other people have heard of it, or maybe they've used it, but in my experience, it works great. The default values, for example, I was busy the other day. I was on another podcast, and there was something on streaming some sports that I wanted to like save. Now, this is a janky streaming site, right? Nothing that I could like go back to, or like YouTube where I could capture it. So I just said, let me just try this. Can I actually capture, the live video from a janky streaming site right on my computer, that I wasn't using at the moment, one of my secondary computers. And it worked amazingly well. I mean, obviously, it's all dependent on the stream not crashing or buffering and all that. But assuming that it doesn't crash on you, it was amazing. It captured the video and the sound, and it all stayed in sync. So, I highly recommend it for that kind of use, or if you're going to do something, where you want to show your screen for a podcast or otherwise.
It is very good. Specs, go ahead.
yeah, another one app I'll mention is two that go very well together is Grim and Slurp. They basically allow you to take screenshots on Wayland. And they're like very simple but powerful CLI tools. And you can just bind it to a key binding on your window manager, and works pretty well, at least for my use case.
Yeah, that's what I've been using because before now, Flameshot really hasn't worked well in Wayland. So Grim and Slurp are like the best way to do it. I do miss the annotation stuff. There was one I was using that I made a video about. Remember the name, Matt? Remember the name? Started with a C. I don't remember what it is. But anyways, it was okay and worked well on Wayland, and it allowed you to take some, do some annotation and stuff on it. But it was like a full-fledged like desktop app, and I didn't really need it all that much. So yeah, Grim and Slip are pretty damn good. And I enjoy having. I actually have a couple of different key bindings to do things with it for. Anybody else? Okay, I have one more. I'm gonna recommend a self-hosted one actually. Watchtower is amazing. I don't ever want to update a Docker container. I just have no interest in doing that. So, or pay attention when a Docker container is supposed to be updated. So having something that just does it for me is amazing. Now, the Docker purists will tell you that you really should pay attention, and obviously it's going to lead to disaster, and it's going to update something, and then it's going to break, and that's probably true. But I'm still lazy SOB, and I don't want to have to do it. So Watchtower or something that is derived from it, because I know it's not actively developed anymore, it's phenomenally good. Like it saves so much time and effort and pain and all that stuff. Arch Penguin, go ahead.
Yeah, I just remembered one more off the top of my head. It's called R2 Mod Man. It's a mod manager for gaming. We use it to mod our Valheim game. It works. They even have a Nix package. It works great, man. It's pretty amazing. It allows you to easily manage your modifications to your game. Well, the supported games, but yep.
Cool.
Mod R2 mod man.
R2 my man. Cool. Specs, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure how rare this is. This is another self-hosted one. It's Image, one of the best pieces of software ever. It's just basically like a full-fledged Google Photos replacement.
I had it installed at one point. I just never kind of really went back to it. Probably will have to give it a try again. Although I don't know that I take as many pictures as I used to. I probably, should take more. Hip Dad, go ahead.
This is sort of an FYI, sort of an app. A while back when we had the NVENC error in Arch, where you would run OBS Studio either in a flat pack or a native, and you couldn't do virtual camera because there was a NVENC error because of V4 2L loopback. And I installed a Git package from the AOR OBS Studio Git, and it has on the last part of it, it has a string of .r something something, and that's the one to grab. You want the Git, not the bin. You grab that, and I grabbed it, and I've been using it forever and ever. And then 6.16 kernel update came along, borked it. So I ended up trying just out of the blue the V4 2L loopback Git on AUR, fixed it.
Cool.
Just to let people know.
Drew, go ahead.
I'm just going to read off the applications that I have running in my TrueNAS scale. Sorry, my TrueNAS scale. Cloudflare is the one that is like a Cloudflare tunnel. So any application that I have being hosted on my TrueNAS scale, like searching, which is something that I just did a video on rather. So that searching is a self-hosted meta search to keep your search stuff private. I know Matt uses it as well. I have Link Warden running, and I'm using that with Flockus, and so that I am synchronizing my bookmarks rather with Link Warden and with my browser using the Flockus plugin. Nextcloud is something that Matt and I did an entire podcast on, and talked about every single application under the sun in the Nextcloud ecosphere, and Olama and Open Web UI. So that is my attempt at self-hosting free and open source AI engines, so LLMs, so that I don't have to necessarily pay for those things. Anyway, that's the extent of what I'm self-hosting right now.
Okay. Just before I let anybody else go, I'm going to do mine too, because I don't have very many either. So I have Cloudflare DDNS because my IP address changes all the effing time, and I don't want to have to manually do it. So I have that. I have Nginx for a few things that Tailscale didn't really make sense for, like Nextcloud. Fresh RSS, Glance for my homepage, Jellyfin, which I'm trying out, LinkedIn which is similar to Link Warden, which I use for bookmarks, Nextcloud, Plex, Portainer is what I manage everything in, CirxNG, Tautuli for stats for Plex, and then Watchtower. That's all I got. So I have been thinking of some other ones. So I tried to do ForgeJo. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not. Probably not. It's like a Git repository thing, like Gitea or Gitee, whatever. Similar to Gitee, I could not get it to work. I was having problems all over the place. So I eventually gave up on that. And I've tried a couple other things off of that awesome self-hosted list thing, but I don't know. Every time I try something new, I just never really end up using it. These are just kind of like the things that I need, and those are the things that I need. The whole try as many things as I possibly can phase has kind of died out for me. Although I still look at things like the book thing that I found on Reddit the other day looks awesome. Des, you're next.
how can we have forgotten Box? I don't currently use it, but I want to start using it as soon as I have a practical use, which will eventually come up. That particular one is one I actually heard from on this channel, but I really need to start using it.
Bex?
Yeah, as something like a replacement for Tailscale, in case someone doesn't trust them, is you can just basically self-host a VPN using WireGuard, which is it's super duper simple to set up. You just forward a single port into your out out your network, and then you can just simply whenever you're on the go somewhere, you can just VPN back into your home.
Tailscale was so easy. I looked into the WireGuard thing, but it seemed easier just to do Tailscale. And it was astonishingly easy, but I don't know that I want it running on everything. That's the reason why I have Nginx installed as well. That way I can, because like my mom and dad and a couple of siblings use Nextcloud. I don't want to have to go over there and install all the Tailscale stuff on their computers. So it's just easier to use Nginx and expose it to the internet with port forwarding and stuff. Okay. Anybody else have a app or self-hosted thing that they want to talk about before we jump off? GNU to Linux, go ahead.
Well, this isn't self-hosted, but I know many of us probably skipped over YTDLP because it's not rare or obscure. We probably all use it, but that is a great app for downloading videos from all different platforms. I won't name any in case that's a concern, but there's another app called Gallery-DL
Mm-hmm.
that does a similar thing, and it does it for photos. So if you want to collect a bunch of photos from a web page, it has some pretty neat features. You're able to define how deep it looks into that page, into the connected links from that page that you're looking at, and then it'll give you some options to specify what size images or what type of images you want to restrict your downloads to, and then it'll give you a little preview so you can manually select the images that you want visually, along with making sure you're getting the full size images, not the thumbnails. It's a pretty neat little app.
Cool. Dad, go ahead.
I got to apologize to you, Matt. I'm deeply sorry, and someday maybe, but I no longer use Vivaldi. I am now a True Blue Brave user. Please forgive me.
I'm highly disappointed in your choice of browsers, DW, or not DWs. I was going to blame DWs for it. Sorry, DWs. Dad, I believe you should be excommunicated for no shorter period than 9 years. So, anyways, I don't really care what browser you use. I know a lot of people who don't need all the stuff that Vivaldi has use other things. I don't get the Brave choice though. What about Brave that makes you so happy?
The fact that I don't have to use any extensions to block all the ads on YouTube. That's one thing, but it's just snappier. It's quicker. I don't have to sync into the cloud to do everything. I mean, I can save it locally and CSV files and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't think I was going to like it, but I like it.
I could never use their tab groups. They're just horrible. So.
I don't use groups though. I don't use tab groups. I just use tabs. I'm not the super uber elite YouTube. I gotta have everything all up there, 99 to 150 tabs up there, kind of guy. So
Well, okay. I don't think that I would. I've tried Brave before. I just can't stand it. So also the crypto nonsense that's just there for no reason. I can't. No thanks. But
Okay.
yeah, I what I really want to do is use Zen. Like I'd love to use Zen browser, but
Yeah, I would rather go back to Opera than Zen. I'm sorry.
I liked it fine, but their workspace functionality is just broken. It just doesn't work good. Like browse workspaces are supposed to. So until they fix that, it just is not gonna be good for me. Anyways, anybody else have anything else that they want to share in terms of apps? Mike in the chat is recommending Florp. So anybody else going once, twice? Okay, I think we'll go ahead and end this there. We had a good lug. So if those of you who watched live, we thank you so very much for watching live. We do appreciate it. If you want to join this here Linux user group, we do this twice a month. It's the first one is on the second Thursday of the month. It's at 11:15 a.m. Eastern time. The second one, which is this one, is at 8:15 p.m. Eastern time on the fourth Thursday of the month. So just a small brief heads up, the schedule may be changing. There's some weirdness going on with my job right now. We'll just say that it's going to stay the same, but keep your ears open for an announcement in the next couple of weeks. See if things are going to change. So just keep that in mind. If you can't watch live, we do stream this, and the VOD is available on the Linux Cast at youtube.com/linuxcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe, do all the like button things, and we will appreciate